This activity is called decimal switch, where we have to arrange these 5 numbers in order from least to greatest using only the switch buttons down here. First, we look at the numbers before the decimal point, and they're all 0, so that means the numbers are all below 1. Next, we have to look at the number in the first place after the decimal point. That's called the tens place. We see a 6, 0, 1, 8, and 7. The lowest of these is 0, so we put that in the first box. When we're using the tens place, we forget about all of the other numbers after the 0 or the 6 or any of the others. We have to forget about the 3, the 9, the 1, and the 4 because that doesn't matter yet. Next, we have to figure out what the second lowest number is. We look at the tens place again. We see 6, 1, 8, and 7. So we automatically know that 19 hundredths is the second place after the decimal point. Since this starts with a 1, it is the second lowest. Then we have to work with these last 3 and forget about the first 2 boxes because we know they're already in order. So we look at the 6, 8, and 7. 6 is the lowest, so that's already in the right place. And then the 8 and the 7 need to be switched. When you're finished, you can click this to see if you're right. And we were. Next, the numbers changed a little, but it's still the same way. They're all below 1 because they all have zeros in front of the decimal point. And we have to look at the tens place. 2, 0, 1, 2, and 4. The lowest would be 0, so this is the lowest number of the 5. Next, we forget about this box and focus on these 4. We see a 2, a 1, another 2, and a 4. 1 will be the lowest, so that's the second lowest number in these 5 boxes. Now we just focus on these 3. We see 2, another 2, and a 4. The way we figure out the difference between this 2 and this 2 is by looking at the hundredths place, which is the second place after the decimal. Here we don't see anything, so we know that that's a 0, an invisible 0, and this is a 1. 0 would be lower, so this is already in order with 20 hundredths or 2 tenths, and then 21 hundredths. And then the 42 hundredths would be the highest. That one was correct. We'll do one more of the decimal switch. These, again, are all below 1 because they have the zeros in front of the decimal point. We see an 8, 0, 1, 5, and another 5. The 0 will be the lowest, so we'll put that in the first box. Next, the 1 is the lowest because it's lower than the 8 and the 2 5s. Now we have to determine which one's lower between these 2 5s because we know that the 8 is in the highest place. We have to look at the hundredths place now, the second place after the decimal. See 1, 2, so the 1 and the 9. 1 is lower, so it will be right before this box. That one was correct. The next activity is in Fun Brain called Place Value Puzzler, where we have to read what they say here and round the number to what they say. This number reads 6,545.6890. This place with the 6 is the tenths place. The 8 is in the hundredth, 9 in the thousandth, and 0 in the 10/100th. And then in front of the decimal point we have ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. When you see the TH, as it says here, round to the nearest hundredth, that will be after the decimal point. If you don't see that TH there and it just ends with 100, then that will be in front of the decimal point. Here we have to round to the nearest hundredth, which is right here. So we have to look at the place after, and it's 9. If this number right here is 5 or above, you round up. If it's below 5, 4 and down, you round down. So we'll have to round this number up to 9. So the number will be 6,545.69. Then we click submit, and that was correct. Next we look at this number and it says, again, round to the nearest hundredth. So we look at the same number and the number after it is a 1. So since that's below 5, we have to round this 8 down. And then we forget about all the numbers afterwards because they don't matter anymore. So that's 2,670.58. We have to round this 8 down just so that it's an 8. And that's correct. If you get this number wrong or the answer wrong, you'll see a 1 in the incorrect. Now for the last one, it says round to the nearest thousand. The TH is not on the end, so we know we're working with numbers above the decimal point. So in our final answer, we will not have any of these numbers there. Right now, this number reads 1,333.5014. Since we're dealing with 1,000, that will be right here. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So we have to look at the place right after, which is a 3. Since that's below 5, we will round down and take out all these, and this will still be a 1. So the answer will be 1,000. Submit. Okay, that's how you do those two activities of place value puzzler and decimal switch.